At MMP, we believe
that movements begin.
Movements begin
with the telling of untold stories.
Movements begin with the telling of
untold stories.
Y los movimientos empiezan con historias no contadas.
We believe that movements begin
with the telling of untold stories.
With untold stories.
With the telling of untold stories.
So 5 years ago, there were a number of people in Philadelphia coming out of a variety of really rich histories.
All these groups be sitting at the table and we're sharing like what each of us are facing, and it was like the beginning of the process.
I mean, it really had to do with relationships and wanting to really combine our efforts and work on something that came out of our experiences and was building on what we already knew and taking it to the next level.
I think it's just been really powerful to see so many people commit to this project.
I really feel like everyone here, they're my comrades. Like, it's a give and take, and I'm always able to take, and I'm always willing to give.
Everybody is seen as a leader. Everybody is encouraged to be a leader.
A leader is somebody who keeps going, that they're there and they're going to stay there.
Being a leader in MMP is about developing other leaders. It's never about just one of us as an individual. It's about all of us and what we can all do with each other.
If we're all leaders, you can silence a person in a movement, but that won't silence the movement.
Developing leadership in MMP is kind of like passing a candle, and the flame just keeps getting brighter.
El sueño que yo tengo para MMP es tener líderes por todo el mundo.
You learn to lead because you're acting, and you're acting in relation to other people.
Everything that we study, none of it's going to get taught to us in school. What is the root cause of the fact that I'm being worked 87 hours a week and still not able to keep my lights on?
Once you've been infused with this, you're going to be charged. You're going to have to do work.
The powers that be are very sophisticated. And if we're going to change the status quo, we have to have leaders that are comparable to them.
Because it's the nature of our work that the way that we think is the way that we act.
We're creating one voice.
We have to get that out of people's mind that, this is my fight. No, we're all in this together.
It's none of our own fault while we're going through these struggles, but when we sit down and figure out not only what we're going through, but why we're going through it and how it got to be this way.
It starts with being able to connect with others around truths that are masked for us on a daily basis. That comes out of people connecting around their stories.
You start to understand that we're all human and we all deserve to be treated like human beings.
Y nunca había tenido la oportunidad de involucrarme con personas que aceptaran la realidad que uno está viviendo y pude contar mi historia.
MMP lets me know that I'm not the only one out here struggling, and it helps me get word to my struggling brothers and sisters. It's how we tell those stories, what circumstances we create for the telling of those stories, how we build leadership through telling those stories, how we connect people through telling those stories, how people get to be together and strategize and build power, through those stories.
During the past year, there have been a number of struggles that have gone overlooked by the mass media despite their importance. MMP has made it our mission to shed light on these struggles and highlight the organizations and the people that are unwilling to stand back and let injustices happen worldwide.
29 years ago, I made a commitment to this community, and I stand here now just as committed to my patients and to my fellow workers as I did all those years ago.
We're here for our patients. We're here for a working environment. We're here to take care of the community.
Temple never expected to have as many people outside, and they also never expected to have as many people stay on strike for that long of a time. They thought that they were going to have more people going, and it didn't happen. They thought that our picket lines wouldn't be strong, and they were. They thought that our solidarity was going to falter, and it never did.
We're more than a block. We are a family. And we need each other. We need our fire station in this busy community. We need our fire station.
We support this community. And many of our members who work around the corner at Engine 57, they apologize that they could not be here that night because they know they could have done the job. They know they could have done the job, and they were brokenhearted to find out what happened right around the corner from their firehouse. This did not have to happen. And I apologize to the mother, and I apologize to the father that we're unable to be here for you because we want to.
Today, instead of mourning the passing of a particular person, we are mourning the passing of public trust. And we are grieving for families, especially children, who are the innocent victims of gambling addiction.
So I hope that this day, in your spirits and in your hearts, that you don't become discouraged just because it seems to be a little dark out here right now. Because I know that from my scripture reading, joy comes in the morning. When the light rises, so does our power and our strength. And we shall continue on. We will not stop tonight. We shall continue on.
Nobody knows how long the water's going to be bad. Nobody knows. There isn't anybody that can tell us that. I'm telling you, there isn't many days when I don't sit here and cry because I know it'll never be the same. And they still deny to this day that they have any wrongdoing, even though it's been proven. I think they thought they were going to make us go away, but we're not going away. We're a very small community and we're very caring for other people. The people who have been hurt, we're not in this for the greed. We're not in this for the money. We're in this to make it better for other people.
My name is Antonio Davis from ACT UP Philadelphia. I'm an organizer here. And we're here today in New York City because Obama broke his promises on fully funding global AIDS programs. People are not receiving treatment, and if Obama does not fully fund global AIDS, we will be directly impacted here in the United States.
We all came out here today, to rally, to get our voices heard against this unfair immigration law, which is affecting a lot of our families and a lot of our loved ones. It's not just an immigration issue, but it's more about family.
I'm supposed to have this baby any day, and I don't want to have this baby until he's home.
Take a look at my life. Take a look at what I've been through. I'm just like you.
We come to this country in search of freedom. That freedom has been stepped on by the action of the Philadelphia Parking Authority that told us they collaborate with the Department of Immigration to arrest some of our drivers that doesn't have any case built on them.
So please, we are saying this thing not just for the cab drivers, it might happen to you tomorrow.
When we heard about the injustices against our friends, the taxi workers, we had to stand with them. But drivers work 12 to 14 hours and still can't feed their families. That's structural violence. Nonviolence isn't just the absence of violence. To be nonviolent, you have to stand up against injustice.
If we stand by as clergy, as citizens, as taxi workers, no matter what our work, if we step by and let lies overcome the truth, then we are all at risk.
We should not be punished for finding ourselves wherever we find ourselves because of our socio-economic problems that we face. We need a global alliance so that we are able to make sure that everyone counts in our society, wherever we come from, wherever we find ourselves.
En la vía por donde yo voy salen muchos venados y había uno, había cruzado la vía. Entonces, yo quiero mucho los animales y me dio mucha tristeza verlo porque miraba y así me sentí yo cuando Pendo quiso quitar mi licencia. Fuimos muchas, fuimos 2.350 en este estado, de las cuales solo quedamos 6. Apelamos y encontramos que la ley nos favorecía.
Leaders, we are leaders. Thinkers, we are thinkers.
It's basically a campaign to address the violence that's being committed towards us, the criminalizing of us, the underfunding of our schools, the education that's making us become test takers rather than allowing us to be critical thinkers.
All
all young people can be leaders. We are thinkers, we are artists, we are innovators, we are organizers, and we are youth, a youth movement.
As we share our struggles and our victories with each other, we realize that we are not alone in this global fight, and that within our ever-growing network of organizations and leaders, a new and unsettling force is brewing that will help propel this movement led by poor and working people, those most affected, towards a victory for society.
We're fighting for our children, we're fighting for our parents, we're fighting for each other, we're fighting for all human beings to have access to the healthcare and housing and education and jobs that we deserve, that all people deserve.
This media, this project, this movement profoundly respects people and their humanity. And the same cannot be said from the society at large.
Over the next 5 years, it's going to be really powerful.
Word of mouth travels very quickly, and the word is spreading. MMP is growing.
We're telling the untold story, and people are starting to watch us.
MMP function is going to be the nucleus for developing leaders in the city.
I see MMP also as that point where we can connect with other struggles and movements across the world.
The groups that we're connected with are the groups that are going to be leading the bigger struggles that are going to be coming in the next few decades.
It's about taking these isolated things that are happening, or seemingly isolated things that are happening, and folding them into something that can actually sustain that energy and can build on it.
Let's set this country right. Let's take ourselves seriously enough to know that what we're doing now can be that important, can really be paving the way.